Hey, welcome to Code Riddles. I'm your host Ronak Prajapati. Today we will learn about how we can create our CSS file for WordPress theme. In previous tutorial we will learn about how we can code our HTML for WordPress theme, and now we will attach a CSS to that template. We already link our style.css to this HTML, and this is the file that we already created in our previous tutorial. Let's first create our default style sheet, which we can also say as a reset CSS, because every browser has its own CSS applied to every HTML page, like H1, H2, and link has a blue color. Okay, so that kind of CSS is already applied, like margin, padding. So we have to remove that CSS. So for that, let's I already copied that reset CSS. So that is our reset CSS. So that says HTML body div span object h1 h2 h3 h4 h5 h6 a, which is our link tag, address, code, image, and lots of default elements, which we set as a margin 0, border 0, padding 0, outline 0, font size 100%, vertical align, baseline, and background transparent. So all that CSS, which is by default applied to every browser, is been removed and set it to neutral. Next thing is the body, which I'm setting it as a line height of 1.5. This is modified version. Now font family to Tahoma, which I like, and if that font is not available, then this will be used. Margin bottom -12 pixel, which we will cover it later. So I want to remove it. And OL and UL, which has a list style of none, so no bulleting will be displayed. Okay. Next thing we require is our default CSS for our H1, H2, H3 and all. So I'm setting a H2 to font size of 24 pixel. Okay, first let's see how without this code our H1, H2, H3 looks like, or we can see any change in our page. Okay, so there we have. Okay, so font size is reduced for every element, and now let's set our H2 tag to font size of 24 pixel and refresh this page to see the effect. Okay, so H2 element is now font size of 24 pixel. Okay, next thing we require is our P tag. Okay, I'm setting it as a font size of 12 pixel, so this will be default font size for all P tags. Okay, so now it's reduced to 12 pixel. Next thing we are doing is for our link tags. So I want to set a default color and font size for all links. So a tag, and set it to our color as a. Now I'm setting that color to #06639E, which I already set and note down, but you can pick it from Photoshop. Okay, font size to 12 pixel, just in case it didn't get it from a P tag, it will be safe to have a font size here. Okay, and next thing is text decoration. I don't like that underline in our link, so text decoration to none. Okay, next we also need our link to have a different behavior than normal text. So like when we hover over it, it will be changed to something else. Okay, like a hover to like text decoration to underline. What that creates is underline has been applied whenever you move your mouse over to any link. Okay, so that user can know that this is link, you can click on it. Okay, now next thing is we need a default style for this element, which is input. So I'm setting it right now. Input element has a style of background color to anything that is gray. So I'm setting it to CCC. Okay, then border radius 4 pixel, which give a little bit roundness to corners of the text box. Okay, so as you can see, now it's input, so it also applied to that button, but we can change it in later. Okay, for now let's just put that as it is. Okay, next I'm setting it a color to hash 1D 1D 1D. Okay, and padding to 4 pixel. Another thing is border, which is 1 pixel solid gray, neutral gray. Okay, so what that does is it creates this kind of text box. Okay, so now what next? Whenever you move your mouse over a text box, it has to be changed to something else, or whenever you click on that text box, that also does the same effect. So for that we are putting a style on a input focus and input hover to background color of say invert that color, so and color to this one. Okay, make sure to put hash before that color code. So what that does is this kind of effect. Okay, so color is not applied, maybe I done something wrong. Okay, I have missed one code here. Okay, so that will fix it. Okay, now it's working. Okay, what next is our main HTML style. So let's comment it like main style, and first thing is we are setting our let's see our WordPress our HTML code, and first we have our header section. Next we have our wrap section. So I'm setting a style for that wrap div. Okay, so remember we applied our wrap to every section. Like we have a wrapper here, we also have that same element here, we also have a same element here, and also in our main section. Okay, so what we can do, we can apply a dot wrap, which takes all the classes name wrap and apply that style to it. I'm setting it to width of 960 pixel, which is most general use. A grid system follow this pattern for width of 960. Margin to auto, which makes our content in a center position, okay, like that. Okay, so it already applied to every element. Next thing is I'm setting a background for a header. So our header section, which is ID header, so for that hash header, and set a background color to, now how we can get a color, so we have our header here, so I'm picking a color picker and click on the area that has the same color, double click on that icon and copy that code, and then hash, then paste it. Okay, so if we reload our page, we can see the effect. Okay, next thing is I want to set a particular effect on that this section, like this one. Okay, so I want to set a background image for our h1, which is inside our header ID. Okay, so hash header, and then inside that header we have a h1, so I'm setting a style for that, background URL, and then images slash, what we have is logo.png, so logo.png, and width for that to we have is 320 by 88, so width is 320 pixel, height to 88 pixel. Next is text indent. Let's see first how it looks, then we will set text indenting. Okay, so now we have a problem. We got our image, which is our logo, but we also have this text. Now I want to put that text in h1 because it's our main site name, but with that I don't want to show that, so I'm setting an indent for that to -9999, which moves that text beyond the browser reach. Okay, so it's gone. Now we have another problem, we can't access our link. Okay, so we'll set it up soon, but for now I'm setting a margin top to 10 pixel, which moves our logo. Okay, but stick with me, it will be fix that blank area we got, we'll fix that. Okay, margin bottom to 10 pixel. Okay, and next thing is we have to fix our link situation, which is this one. We don't get a link even if we put a tag in our h1 tag. Okay, so for that I want to set a CSS for a link header h1a, and for that I'm setting a width to 320 pixel, which is similar to our logo size, height to 88 pixel, and display to block. Okay, by doing this we get our link back. Okay, because we only put a hash in that link, it won't do anything, but still we get our link back. Okay. Next thing is we want to do something about that text box, which what we have to do is we have to move that text box to our right section, which is here. Okay, so for okay, to do that, let's add some style to that section, which is our search header section. So hash search header, and for that let's just simply put float right. Because we're putting float, we have to put a width for that, which is 300 pixel, and margin to top as around 40 pixel, and text align to right. Okay, which moves our text box to right area. Okay, now along with that we have a problem about the text box is moved here. Okay, so that we have a problem. Okay, let's fix it. Let's see what we done wrong. Okay, let's put float over here, which will fix the problem. Okay, there you go. Now the problem has been fixed, but we have another problem. Our background is gone. Okay, and another problem is our navigation is shifted to this side. Okay, so let's fix our HTML a bit. Let's put a div class to clear, cause we are doing it a lot, so let's make it a class of clear. Same, we are putting it here, and it don't do anything because we haven't done any CSS for that class. So let's put that CSS over here, dot clear, and for that let's just clear both, which ensures that next element will introduce after all the float are cleared. Okay, by doing this we get our background back. We fix a lot of things, like the gap is being cleared, the search area are now in right position. Okay, I mean correct position. Okay, it's always floated right, so it's already in a right position, but it's correctly positioned. Okay, now what to do next? We're done with our header. Now the next area is our navigation. So hash navigation. Okay, so I'm talking about this element, this. Okay, so for navigation we move to our design and grab this color, copy it, which is 1D 1D 1D, which already I have used. So background color to okay, and next. Okay, so now we have to fix this vertical menu to our horizontal one. To do that, I want to set navigation, and inside that navigation a UL is present, which is this one, and inside that UL we have a li. Okay, so for that li I want to give a style of display inline. Okay, by doing this we are making our menu horizontal, which looks better. Next thing we are going to do is to separate a little bit our menu items. To do that, navigation UL, and then inside that UL we have a li. Then inside that li we have a link tag, which is a, and for that I am setting padding to 5 pixel, margin to 6 pixel, display inline block, and color to white. Okay, so this is our menu. We can also change the color of that menu item by moving our cursor over it. To do that, navigation, then UL, then li, then a, then hover. When we hover on that link, I'm setting its color to orange. Okay, so we can do this kind of effect by setting a color on a hover. Okay, next thing is I want to set now this area is completed. I mean this area. Okay, this section is done. Now next thing is I want to set a style for our main div. Okay, so for that I'm first setting a main, which is our main div, and its background image to URL, and then I have a image which is a background image, so bg.jpg, I guess. Let's see what. Okay, this one. Okay, it's a strip which changes its color variably, so bg.jpg, and it's repeat to x. Only x coordinate will be repeated, not the y. Means it's repeated horizontally and not vertically. Okay, next thing is let's see first how it looks. Okay, so as you can see, the gray color is been faded to white, and finally it stays as white. Okay, next, inside our main we have a primary element, which is this one, which is a ID. So for that I'm setting it to hash primary. Okay, and for that I'm setting a width to around 700 pixel. Okay, you can measure that width by going into the Photoshop file. Okay, you can measure it to 700, or maybe you can accordingly. Okay, 800, here we have 100 subtracted, so it makes it 700 pixel wide, 700 pixel, and setting its float to left. Okay, so we already get our widgets area upwards, but still I'm setting a main, and then inside that main we have a sidebar whose width is set to 220 pixel, float to right. Okay, so that's what we get in our area. Now I know that's footer, but we will fix it once we complete our sidebar and main section, which is our primary section. Okay, after that I'm setting a h2 for a page title, which is this element, this one. Okay, so our page title is h2. So whenever h2 comes and its class is set to page title, I'm giving it a style of margin to 20 pixel and 0. Okay, so top and bottom 20 pixel and left and right is 0 pixel. Okay, so it gives us little space on top as well as on bottom. Okay, now next is our post item, and inside that post item we have a post title. As you can see in our section of HTML, we have a post item. Inside that post item we have a h3, which is our post title. So I'm setting it to like we have a post item. Inside that post item we have a h3, and inside that h3 we have a link, and for that link I'm setting a font size of 18 pixel, which makes our post title a little bit bigger. Next we have our info area, and then we have a date info area. So for that, dot post item, and then inside that we have a dot info, which means we have a class of info, and for that element I am setting a float to left and width to 460 pixel. Okay, now for the other element, which is our date info, I'm setting a dot post item dot date info to float right its width to 220 pixel and a text align. Okay, let's see what we get without that. We have our element, but we want it to move to right like this one. Okay, so the alignment for that text is right, so align right. Okay, so fix that. Now we find that our image is a bit shorter. Okay, so we will fix that later. Okay, when we reach our image section. Next thing is I want to set a post item, and inside that post item we have a dot info element, which already we have here. Okay, but inside that dot info we have a paragraph, and for that paragraph I am setting a post font size of 11 pixel, a bit smaller than regular size, which is our 12 pixel, and margin to 2 pixel. Okay, which makes this text a bit smaller than a regular one. Okay, and same thing for our date info section. Okay, we done the same thing here. Now next is our image. For that I already set a class for the image, which is featured image. So whenever an image comes inside that post item, so post image dot featured image, I'm setting a width of 670 pixels. Okay, border of 4 pixel solid white. Okay. Okay, now I'm not getting any effect of a border because it's a white background and it's a white border. So for that I'm setting a box shadow to 0, 0, which is a distance, and 4 pixel with gray color, which makes our image pops up. Okay. Now the next thing is I'm setting a width of 700 pixel here. Let's fix that later on. Okay, I'll fix it in short time. It will be fixed. Okay. Now next thing is I want to set a post item a bit effect to separate it from another post. So I'm setting a background color of hash df. Then margin to 20 pixel 0. Padding of 10 pixel and border radius of 5 pixel. Okay. Box shadow to 0, 3 pixel and gray. By doing that, we are separating our post from our background as well as from another post. Okay. So as you can see, the image is now set because we have a padding of a bit here and here. So now it looks like perfectly aligned. If you don't get that same perfect aligned image, you can change the width of that image here, like to increase or decrease. You can set a width here. Okay. Next thing is now we have already our content set perfectly. If you want to change it, you can change it, but I just want to change the effect of that read more link. For that, I'm setting a class of read more and float it to right, just that, nothing else. Okay. Now we have a problem because our link is been thrown outside our main div, actually our post item div. So we know how to fix that. I already told you. Okay. We can set a div here, which is a class of clear. Okay. Now another thing is missing is we lost our main background. Okay. So which is here. So I'm setting a div here to class clear. Okay, which brings back our background. Okay. Now next, okay, we set our background. Okay, looks good. Let's refresh it and check it. Anything else? Okay, we have another problem here. So let's just copy that post item and replace with this one. Okay, that will fix. Okay, we changed something here, we have to apply it here, so better to copy that. We already copied it, so better to copy it again. Next is our widget section. So for that widget is inside our sidebar. So first we set our sidebar. Now we already set our sidebar style, which is 220 pixel and right. The remaining thing are inside that sidebar we have a widget box. So for that we have to apply a style sheet. So inside our sidebar dot widget box, set its margin to 20 pixel and 0. Set a background color to silver. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, so we created our widget box. Now something is missing. We have a heading, but we want to separate the heading from that content area. Okay, to do that, remember the heading are inside the h3 tag. So we can set sidebar dot widget box, and then inside that we have a h3. I'm setting its background color to the same color, 1D, 1D, 1D. Okay, and a color of hash df df df. Font size of say 14 pixel, and padding to 5 pixel, which is our top bottom padding, and 10 pixel to our left right padding. Okay, so this is how we get. Okay, now next thing is our this area. Okay, UL and LI area. So for that I'm setting a style of let's copy this one, paste it, and instead of h3 I'm setting a UL, and then inside that UL we have a LI, and for that LI I'm setting a padding of 3 pixel, which is top bottom padding, and 10 pixel to our left right padding, and check it how it looks. Okay, so we got our widget area working. Okay, now whenever I hover over that link, I want to highlight that area. So to do that I'm setting a sidebar. Okay, let's just copy it, and for that I'm setting a hover effect to background color of say E1, okay, which is gray color. Okay, but different tone. Color to same one, 1D, 1D, 1D. Okay, refresh it, and now as you can see we can make this kind of effect in our widget area. Okay, the last thing remaining is our footer area. Okay, so for that we have our footer area, and for that footer I'm setting a background color to, let's pick that color from our Photoshop. Get an eyedropper tool, click on the color, copy it from here, which is even. Okay, and set it to background color for footer, and color to again same color, 1D. Okay, now inside that footer we have a paragraph. Okay, as you can see we have a paragraph. I want to make it center align, so text align is center, and padding to 10 pixel. Okay, so we have a footer area. Now we have a problem over here, which is we can fix it by applying a bit of CSS to our body section. Set its margin bottom to -12 pixel, which fix that issue. Okay, so we have our working theme similar to what we discussed in our PhD. Okay, we skip a bit of sections, but we will cover it in our plugin development tutorial. Okay, so don't worry about that, just be connected to CodeRiddles and you will get that part done. Okay, next time we will learn about how we can create our WordPress theme, for what this tutorial is meant to develop. Thank you for watching this tutorial.